gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.
All right, we have another live Catalyst Sprint. We'll be going through a whole bunch of new proposals on this one as well. Some pretty cool, exciting ones. These are all, a lot of these are focused on eco-friendly sustainability things. I don't know how this one all worked out. The bookings are quite random, but we have quite a focus here on the sustainability side of things. I'm pretty interested in going through these. It's a little bit different compared to all the developer-focused ones, which we mainly concentrate on. So we do have that all coming up. Now, if you guys are interested in voting, you can check out Lido Nation's Catalyst Explorer, where you can view all of these proposals. I do have them all in the show notes for you as well already. So if you're interested in any of these specific ones, I've got the idea scale links there all for you. But the very first one we have here is from blocktree.asia. And this one is quite interesting in that it's very similar to how Veritree works. And we have our guest waiting in the room here already. John, thank you so much for joining me on this episode to talk through your Catalyst proposal. The format is 5 minutes. Yep.
Yeah.
You got 5 minutes to go through your proposal, and then we'll go through some Q&A session right afterwards. So whenever you're ready to go, hit that share screen button, and I'll start your timer.
Yeah, okay. Can you see my screen?
Yep, it's all good to go.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yes. So hello, everyone. I'm very glad to be here and represent for the blockchain project. And actually, we have get funded in Fund 8 and Fund 9, and we actually get some results. And in this Fund 10, we are raising for another fund, so we can continue to complete our ecosystem of product and help the planter and also the sponsor in reforestation to optimize their effort and create more impact. And we see the problems in reforestation. For example, when you donate money for someone to plant tree, because planting a tree is very simple task that everyone can do, and is a very practical effort that we can do to save us more time, because you know that we are coming to the tipping point of 1.5 degrees Celsius, and at that point we have no way to turn back to the previous state of the earth compared to pre-industrial era. So we encourage everyone to join the climate phase, facing the fighting the worst impact of climate change by planting a tree. But you know, when you donate the money, you have no way to validate the work of the planter, because they don't have any collect the data in a standardized way, and also they cannot prove the authenticity of the report. Ownership happens quite frequently, and with my we see the same situation, the double ownership. We want to create a new standard in reforestation in Vietnam, and we see the same problem in Asia. And we want to solve that by fixing the root cause, is a lacking of trust and trackability. And we utilize the blockchain technology to enhance the trust and also the trackability in reforestation work. And our process is quite simple. You know, the first one, we sit down with the sponsor. It may be individuals or organizations, so that we map them with our planter in our network to choose a suitable project, and then the project will be implemented, and the data from the site will be collected directly through a very special device that we equip the planter. And then the data multi-layer verification process to ensure that it is authentic, and also there is no cheating activities here. So after that, the data will be minted into NFT. So the NFT may be spread out and may be transferred to your mobile device, and also another showcase tool. So you can track with us the process of the work we use the NFT so that with one NFT, you can see the data from the first day of the tree, and also 3 years later by each update. You can see it in the metadata change. It's a kind advantage of the NFT, dynamic NFT. It's not static NFT anymore. So the simple process is just like that, and we equip the planter with the tool set, holistic, very holistic, from the mobile apps to collect the data, and then mini ERP so that they can plan their work and they can do the forecast and they can estimate the impact of planting, and seamless the reporting project, the reporting process. And also we have IoT device, so we can collect the data from the real data from the site to prove the impact. And here you can look at a glance for the data flow. We collect the data from the site with those data and go through the multi-layer verification process and mint into the green NFT, and it appears on the showcase tool. And we have caught up some sponsors that have in partnership with us so far. And actual result, we have planted more than 1,000 trees, and we are coming to achieve 250,000 trees for the next year in this 2024. And if you are interested with our project, please vote for us, and also vote for the Earth, our home. Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant, and congratulations for being funded for the previous funds as well. It shows that you have a good track record, and probably good support from the community for the next one as well. So I'm really excited that it's really good that you have that in the bag already. So let me just start this QA session time. So your timing there was perfect for that. But anyone that's listening in live on the stream as well, please hit that like button. It really helps the live stream and helps support and give everyone on this channel and being interviewed a little bit more reach as well. So it really helps. Hit that like button on your way in. So my first question here, how much were you asking in terms of funding for this phase of the project?
We are asking for 100,000 USD, equivalent to 350,000 ADA.
Okay. What's the breakdown of that? Like, where did the costs go in regards to all that funding?
Yeah, we have broken down the cost in the proposal, and you can find very details in here in each item. We have human resources costs, and also the hardware costs, and also the third-party costs and operation costs. We actually found a company to run this project, and is legal in Vietnam. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Now I did have a look at the NFTs and the metadata as well. It's got all the longitude and latitude information, and it's quite detailed in regards to the information that you guys store. And I do like the application of dynamic NFTs. Is that dynamic as in you're using SIP68, or you're just updating the reference data of where the updated information is going?
Yeah, we are running for the new update with proposal from CTS. Before the day, DNFT is not supported in ADA, so we have a turnaround way by submitting a collection of NFT. So you still have NFT with the updates data from that, but from now on we are applying the new method to support DNFT. And in this phase, we are planning to enhance our NFT design and also the technology behind, so the user may have a better experience for that.
Very, very cool indeed. Now, with all that data collection and the creation of the NFTs, you showed in the proposal there the mobile app where users would log all the information. Is any of that in MVP stage yet, or is it still being drafted up for development?
Can you repeat the question, because I don't get it clear?
Yeah. Okay. So in your presentation, you had screenshots of the application where users could take photos of the trees and log all the data. Has that been built yet, or is that what's is there any MVP yet, or is that what you're building now?
Yeah, it actually worked in the site. We have
Cool.
releases to the planter. Yeah, we actually run the program.
Right, cool. Yeah, because I did understand that NFTs were being minted and stuff, and you've got that information. I didn't realize that you got that far yet. That's really, really cool that you've gotten so much done already.
Yeah. Actually, we have an MVP version for every product, from the mini ERP, so that we can help the planter plan their works and also track their works via a screen. Because in the past, they must ask for someone to go to the site and collect the data by paper and take photos. But we don't know exactly where the photo is taken. So you can collect, download something from the internet and you put it in. Have no way to validate. But with our technology, we have a site and we have the planted site, and the device only allow the worker to take photos at that site. And it is secured from end-to-end process. No one can interact with the data in the flow and can change it.
Fantastic. It really does up that level of trust and traceability for the logging of the trees, not the logging of the trees, the data recording of the tree planting. So it's really good. And you also mentioned not double spending, but like a double reporting of trees. I heard this is a problem in a lot of this reforestation work.
Yes.
Someone would go out there, plant a bunch of trees, and someone else would come and claim that they planted those ones. So this whole platform would solve that problem, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yeah. What a pity if you know that you want to donate something for good. Yeah. And then you come to the site and you plant a tree. But after a few months, you come to there and you see nothing in that site.
Yeah.
All the trees have been removed and someone guys is coming to plant a tree. Yeah. That's my experience. Yeah.
They removed the trees that were planted so they can plant new ones.
Yeah, and I think I am not the one who experienced that, and I am not the one who want to fix this problem. But we have no way, and that the motivation for us, our team, to create some kind of solution to help the donator and sponsor have a clue to prove the data and also the authentic planter.
Yeah, and you'd think if you donate some money in 5-10 years times, the trees will still be there. I know there's fires and all sorts of other things, but you don't want like a logging company to come in and just wipe all the trees out and then make profit off it. That's not the whole point of this. So it's about changing the world, reforesting the world and making it a better place. All right, I love this proposal. I really do hope people get behind it as well. I'll put the links and everything in the show notes down below. I really do hope people continue giving you guys support, especially since you've got a proven track record from previous funds as well. Yeah.
Thank you a lot for the time and for the help to bring blocktree.asia to all around the world. Yeah, and in this this proposal, we are planning for anyone to come and donate for the reforestation work. Doesn't mean you must be an organization. You can be an individual with very little money, from $2. Yeah, from $2 you can donate for a tree, and even smaller like that. And you can see your transaction record publicly in our website very, very soon, right after your transaction comes submitted. Yeah, and you can donate by fiat. Very, very familiar with anyone. Yeah, so we want to bring this solution to anyone who cares of environment and also cares of future for us. Yeah.
Brilliant. All right, thank you very much. I will, like I said, all the links and everything is in the show notes already. And good luck with the Fund 10.
Yeah, thank you a lot. Yeah, we hope that we'll be refunded and continue our job. Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, John. We'll speak soon.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. See you.
Bye. All right, so we have our next guest coming up. Let me just get them into the lobby. And we have Phil Lewis joining us here. Just a quick mic check there, Phil.
Yes. Hi, Pete. How you doing?
Beautiful. Perfect. How is it in Perth at the moment?
Not too bad. A nice day, so can't complain.
Brilliant. All right. Now, Phil here is to talk about his Catalyst proposal with his team there. And this one's around SDG Impact verification. So all of these companies out there claim that they're SDG compliant, they're doing good, whatever it is, but are they really? And this framework here will help prove that. So
Hopefully.
Phil, the format is 5 minutes. You can go through your presentation. Do you have any slides to show?
I do, yes. I'll share my
Yep,
screen.
little share button at the bottom there. You can choose the tab to share.
Yeah. Let's look.
Now, as a reminder, if you're just tuning in, hit that like button. It really helps with the visibility of live streams. Likes are the most important factor, and any likes that you give will help any of these presenters get their proposals out there and in the eyeballs of other people's, so they can understand exactly what they're being built. Oh, mate. All right, let's go for it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Pete. And I'll kick off my time so I know where I'm at. Just a little bit about Climify. So our aim is to help achieve the SDGs. So not just verify SDGs, but achieve them by bridging access to impact investment for more businesses. But it's maybe a bit of an explanation about what impact investment is. So obviously the SDGs, as we know, they're kind of a shared objective to face some of the world's challenges. And more investors are now looking for investment opportunities to not only get a financial return, but also help support the SDGs at the same time. And the Global Impact Investing Network 2022 report actually estimated that the global impact investing totaled $1.2 trillion. So it's really a growing ecosystem. And in fact, it's actually becoming so common that in true Aussie style, I was at this year's APAC Impact Investment Summit in Sydney, and I heard a panelist suggest that instead of differentiating using the terms investors and impact investors, we should be using the terms investors and arsehole investors. So I thought it was quite funny. So I guess the question is, if investors are putting capital into impact businesses, what's the problem that we're trying to solve? So at the moment, most small and medium enterprises are excluded and overlooked from this investment opportunity, and that's largely for a few reasons. Number one is they don't have the capability to collect and report on the data about impact investing, and the reporting requirements of a lot of investors are quite complex. In fact, we spoke with a relatively large impact business recently who just went through the B Corp certification process, and apparently it took them 8 months before they got certified, which is absolutely crazy. Obviously, no SME can go through that process. And obviously, the last point there is about cost. It's such a costly exercise for a lot of small businesses that it's just not viable for them. So our solution is aiming to provide not only consulting services, so Climify already has clients that we support in finding financial products that suit their needs, but we're also developing a platform that will simplify the impact reporting process, make it available to more businesses. Now, in addition to impact reporting, we also want to introduce impact verification. So obviously once people have submitted their data, then we'll provide tools and processes so that third parties can actually verify those claims. And then the third part of the platform that we're developing is around impact tokenization, and obviously introducing investors to the value of tokenized impact, such as greater traceability and ensuring that businesses can't attribute impact more than once. You know, they can't double spend their impact attribution. So it's the impact verification, which is the part of the platform that we're aiming to tackle with our Catalyst proposal. But I guess the question is, why is it important in the first place? Why do impact investors want to have the impact of the businesses they're investing in verified? And many people are probably familiar with the term greenwashing. This has recently been expanded to incorporate the term impact washing. So it not only addresses climate-related claims, but now also incorporates false claims made by businesses, be they environmental or social. So it's helping to address that. So how's this done? How do we do impact verification? Unfortunately, at the moment, it's largely large auditing firms like Deloitte and KPMG, which is obviously expensive and not particularly scalable. We are seeing some emerging technologies such as satellite imaging and AI processing that's going to help scale that better. But one of the potentially untapped sources that we want to explore is the crowd. And you know, this idea that maybe a single person who's verifying some impact wouldn't have as much credibility as an auditing firm, but if 100 people are all confirming the same impact, then maybe investors might start to see that with the same degree of confidence. So it's ultimately about trust, and this is where we want to introduce a trust over IP based framework, and then build Atala PRISM based products that leverage that framework. We've split our proposal into two parts. One is the framework development and the establishment of a working group to work on that framework, and then obviously a pilot to demonstrate the implementation of that. So these are some of the organisations that have already put their hand up to say they're prepared to contribute to the working group and the framework development, which is fantastic. These are cross-chain; they're not just Cardano organisations. Toppl's a completely different blockchain. IXO's building using the Cosmos SDK. And obviously, hopefully people are familiar with Sustainable ADA, who've obviously done great things in the Cardano ecosystem. And finally, this is the Climify team, the four people that had their name against the proposal, but obviously we've got a much larger team that brings a wealth of experience, which is obviously important for the success of the pilot. And finally, just some contact details if anybody wants to reach out and learn more. So thank you.
Brilliant, Phil. Thank you so much for that. I do have some questions, but just remind, hit that like button if you're watching live. Now, my first question here is around the costings of how much an accounting firm charges for this kind of thing. So I'm trying to gauge KPMG, what do they charge? And using Climify, how much of a saving would a company have? So all these like smaller SMEs can come on board and start being verified.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's ultimately about trust, as we said in one of the slides. If an impact investor has a particular risk tolerance that suggests that they would only trust a large auditing firm, then an audit can run into thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. So that's obviously quite an expensive exercise. If we can prove with a trust over IP framework and the Atala PRISM tools that the crowd and other sources can be trusted almost as much as an auditing firm because they may be closer to the ground and have direct contact with the businesses involved. Obviously, we're wanting to explore different ways that we can incentivize that crowd participation to be able to verify the impact claims that businesses are making. So there is still a cost component, but obviously that's part of the experiment, is to test where that threshold would best to make it more affordable, so that it's, you know, SMEs aren't having to pay the KPMG type prices.
So what type of information are we verifying here?
So a good example is one of Climify's existing customers. So they produce solar powered mills. So small little mills for milling wheat and different products. And the way that could be verified is obviously things like obviously the specs of the mill itself. You know, is it actually an environmentally sustainable way that these mills are operating? But then obviously things like their sales reports and things like that. How many have they actually sold? Now, a traditional audit might be somebody coming in and investigating their sales reports and seeing if they're all legit, versus more crowd-based approach would be the actual buyers themselves can verify, yes, I bought one of these. Okay, and so it's a much simpler way of collecting the same data. So the impact that we're measuring is how many of these more sustainable products have been sold to have a direct impact into the economy.
Gotcha. Okay, understood. Understood. Now, the amount of ADA that you're asking for this one, it was 300,000
Correct.
ADA.
Yep.
Yep. So it works out to be around 77,000 US dollars at the moment. And what's the timeline for delivery of this?
Yep. So this is a 6-month project. So part of those funds are actually going towards the working group. So we actually want to get the working group off on the right foot and actually want to try and make it sustainable, because we think it's an important framework to have developed. So having to rely on voluntary participation into working groups is not usually sustainable. So we've attributed, I think it's maybe a quarter or a third of the budget to that working group to actually get people to actively engage in the process in developing the framework. So that's essentially paying for the first 6, let's assume, monthly meetings of the working group, and then obviously any work that people are doing within the working group in between those meetings. And then obviously the rest is going towards the actual software development around integrating the Climify platform with the Atala PRISM tools, so that we can start to collect those verifiable credentials and things like that that would act as the certifications of impact.
Brilliant. Okay. Last one there, just to clarify the Atala PRISM side of things. So you're verifying what exactly is it? The people supplying the data, the crowd sourced data, or is it the actual information that you're verifying with the Atala PRISM?
So the impact business itself would put up a claim into the Climify platform to say we've had this impact. The example I gave before, we've sold 1,000 solar mills in 2023, let's say, that's the claim. Okay, so then third parties are able to come and connect to the platform, have a look at that claim that organization has made, and they would use their decentralized identity wallet to actually issue a verifiable credential saying, I can verify that this claim is correct.
Gotcha. Okay, very good use of Atala PRISM there as well. Okay,
Yeah.
Phil. Thank you so much for joining us and taking us through the impact verification framework. I'm pretty excited to see that one go through. It's a really good use of blockchain tech as well. But all the links and references in the show notes for everyone, so they can find out a little bit more about that. And if you like it, please consider giving it a vote in Fund 10.
Thanks, Pete, and thanks for putting on these Catalyst sprints. I think it's been a great initiative, so I've enjoyed watching them.
Awesome. Thanks, Phil. Chat soon.
Thank you. See ya. Bye.
Right. So our next guest here is Santiago with Demeter. Let me just get him on from the lobby. There we go. And we'll just do a quick mic check. We're live and we're hitting the ground running.
Hi, Pete.
Yes, and we are good. Slight delay there, but I think we can work with that. So Santiago is going to go through his proposal around Demeter. So Demeter is fantastic. And, my experience in writing code in Aiken compared to Haskell back in the day, just firing up an environment in Demeter and just going for it has been amazing. So I've actually been playing around with a bit of code and I'm really happy with it. And we're looking at this proposal to decentralize that entire platform. So really, really exciting, really good for the health and sustainability of the Cardano ecosystem. So Santiago, you got 5 minutes to go through the proposal, and then we've got a little bit of a QA session afterwards as well. So go for it.
Thank you. Just sharing my screen.
Yep.
Okay,
Start
so
the timer when you're ready.
The proposal is about decentralized frontends. But to talk about decentralized frontends, first I want to discuss a little bit about the value proposition of the app. So the D in the app stands for decentralized. The main idea is that the execution of the application, instead of being handled by a single entity, is distributed across the network. This is good mainly because it is censorship resistant, meaning that if some sort of entity wanted to block access to the application, it would require blocking access to all of the nodes in the network, which is orders of magnitude harder than doing that on a single entity. Now, does this happen in practice? Well, it depends, because most of the time, the app, you need to go through a front end. The website, the UI, the thing that users have to interact with the app. Now, in many cases, these front ends are hosted in centralized cloud infrastructure and managed by a single entity. So those good qualities about decentralization are not there, because if, again, some sort of entity, it would be enough blocking access to the front end and making in practice very hard for users to access the application. So how do we fix this? One way would be to approach this problem in the same way as we approach it for other on-chain components of the app. So maybe take the front end and distribute it across different nodes, so that there isn't a single entity handling the front end, but instead a group of them. Now, hold on to that thought, because we need some sort of platform to implement this. We have Demeter.run. Demeter.run is a cloud hosting platform, as you mentioned, Pete, that has Cardano-specific services infrastructure. You, in a few clicks, get access to the seeing, Hawking, Scoop, all of the open source tooling in the ecosystem. And you can also deploy front ends in Demeter. Now, the problem remains because Demeter centralized. It is handled by a single entity, TXPipe in this case, which is a single point of failure if somebody wanted to block access to the infrastructure. So what we want for Catalyst front end is to build, we will start with a proof of concept, to build a network of infrastructure providers. We will reach out to SPOs which have experience in cloud hosting and cloud infrastructure, and we will ask them to run their own instance of Demeter, getting an extra revenue stream, but also as a way to create this compute grid that can handle the same kind of services that the current Demeter does, but in a decentralized fashion. It won't be permissionless, it will be fed. We will need to the SPOs that will be participating in this network, but it will be multiple instances running the show. TXPipe will be just one more of these infrastructure providers. From the outside, the app developer sees this as a uniform cloud hosting infrastructure. So the developer experience feels the same, but now it is handled by several entities under the hood. This is a team behind the proposal. These people will be actively participating here. We are TXPipe. We develop open source tools for the Cardano ecosystem. We've been here for 2 years. I believe we have a good track record building tools that are used and implemented across the ecosystem in several projects. This is what we are asking for. Most of this will go into development, and it will be of open source, so anybody can take it, dig into it, and also build on top of it to do whatever they want. Now, a chunk of those funds will go into a grant program. The idea is to give this data to the app developers that want to deploy the front ends. So in that way, it's a win-win situation, because the app developers get free hosting for a while. SPOs get this extra revenue stream running Demeter infrastructure, and the ecosystem gains a new way of implementing decentralized front ends. And that's it.
Brilliant. You still have some time left over. So everyone's in their time at the moment. So that's really, really good. Now, just a reminder, anyone watching on the live stream, hit that like button. It really helps with the reach for all these live streams. So Santiago, I'll just get you to stop the share screen at the moment. All the links and references, I've got them posted in the live chat as well. So if anyone wants those links, just check the live chat there on the live stream, and you'll be able to get to it there. And also in the show notes and descriptions too. Now, Santiago, I love this one. And, you know, there's a lot of struggling SPOs out there that would say, wow, this is awesome. It could really help with, you know, sustaining their stake pools. And, you know, the stake pool doesn't really use that much resources all the time. So, all the extra resources that they have available, using them as, cloud hosting infrastructure. Brilliant idea. There's a lot of leftover availability there for them. Now, I do have a question here from the live stream, and this one's from Yoursoft. He asks, can Demeter proposal be mixed with Igon to decentralize it? So decentralizing the storage side of things, or the CPU in the future. Can it?
Yeah. Yes, we haven't reached out to them yet, but we have been thinking about how we can find ways of interacting with the Igon.
Yeah.
I think that they have a great technology. It's a great project. And for sure, there are some ways that we can help each other. So once we have this Catalyst proposal going, if we get voted, we will make sure to reach out to them, because I think it makes sense.
Okay, brilliant. I really do see some opportunities there for partnerships with other platforms within the Cardano ecosystem. So not just Igon, but also maybe even Unet with their decentralized compute as well. Now, the other question I have here is around that grants for the developers. That's a brilliant use of the ADA funds. So that essentially will be used to pay the SPOs for the hosting service. Is that correct? Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So one of the challenges in this project is to get the ball rolling, because in order to get the app developers wanted to deploy things, you need infrastructure, meaning SPOs, but to get SPOs, you need demand, you need the app developers who wanted to deploy the project. So in order to trigger that spark, we will be having this grant program so that the app developers are able to participate.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Have you worked through the potential modeling of how much an SPO could potentially earn for providing some of their infrastructure?
Well, that depends on the type of infrastructure they want to provide. That is that not every instance of Demeter will be the same, meaning that SPOs will decide how much of the resources they want to assign to the grid. So it will depend on each of the instances. Now, just to emphasize the fact that this proposal is to build a proof of concept, a working proof of concept. We want to this will not be some sort of fake prototype. This will be working, but we want to do it at a small scale, because we are trying to find yet quantities and values and parameters that make sense for such a grid, because it's not something that we can copy from anywhere else. So to get everything right, this first phase, small scale proof of concept, will give us a lot of information to finally understand and be able to answer those questions with exact examples and references to existing SPOs already participating. Okay.
I'm pretty excited to watch the development growth of this one here. It's going to be a very interesting one and a pretty exciting one to watch. I've watched the development and the growth of everything around Demeter.run, and I'm just amazed at what you guys can do. So congratulations to everything there. So this is a brilliant one to support. So I really highly encourage anyone out there that is wanting to support the development on Cardano to give this one a vote as well. But Santiago, thank you so much for joining me on this episode and talking through your proposal.
Thank you, Bit. Thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome. Thanks. We'll chat again soon. All right. So we've got our next guest coming up. Let me just get them into the lobby here. Now, we've been going quite well with all of the presentations. Everyone's actually rocked up on time, so we can actually do this live. So I'm not sure who we got on the call here at the moment. Let me just double check. So this proposal here, we have AgroTech. And AgroTech is around all of this really interesting environment of agricultural technology and IoT devices that are used in agriculture. And I had very little knowledge of all of this until I started digging deeper into World Mobile. And for those that don't know, World Mobile actually has all of this IoT, agricultural IoT infrastructure built on a lot of their Wi-Fi nodes. So it allows farmers to connect to this hardware and transmit data about humidity, water moisture, farming, fertilizer usage, and all that through IoT, and makes agriculture a lot smarter. So I'm really interested in learning so much more about this one here, and I'm just waiting for Ciro to join on the call. So just okay, so a little bit of technical issue there on his end. That's okay. Now, for those that are just joining, if you haven't liked this video yet, please hit the like button. I'm just checking the live stream, and yeah, the likes are going well. Likes are going well so far. Now, I know a lot of people are watching the live stream for Rare Evo as well. It looks like it's quite a good event again this year. The presentations have been absolutely fantastic. I've watched a couple of the presentations. I haven't had much time to sit down and watch all the 8 hours or 6 or 8 hours worth of video content just yet, but it looks pretty good. Now, if you're on the live stream, if you are watching any of the Rare Evo stuff, please leave a comment and let me know what you found interesting so far at Rare Evo. It's I'll go back and check it out as well. I think a lot of people are missing out, though. I really wish I could be there as well. Now, Ciro is having some issues connecting, I believe. Yep, still trying to connect. So I'll just give him a few more minutes. It was online for a moment, but yeah, just having an issue connecting right now. Anyway, I've got a lot of these other ones that I haven't put up yet, purely because we had some issues with the live stream. So I will be editing those and putting them up as soon as possible. So if you haven't checked out the playlist for all these Catalyst sprints, make sure you look at the playlist on the channel. Look for Catalyst sprints, obviously, and all the videos from the live streams should be there, as well as some other individual videos. You can tell that they're individual ones because they're less than 15 minutes, and those ones are the ones that I had to cut and aren't live. And you'll be able to go through those ones and have a look at what those proposals are as well. We've got a lot of interesting ones. I can't believe I made it to Catalyst Sprint 10. So I've done at least 40 or so project interviews through Fund 10 at the moment. I've got about another week's worth of these, and a couple of catch-up episodes as well, because I had to cancel one of them. But it's a lot of proposals that I've gone through at the moment, and I'm trying to help the Cardano ecosystem around the exposure for Catalyst. But yeah, it's hard. There's over 1,500 proposals at the moment. Now, I mentioned a little bit before, if you want to go through these proposals, the easiest way is to go and have a look at them through Lido Nation's Catalyst Explorer. IdeaScale is brilliant, and that's where all the core information is. And if you want to go through all the information there, you can, but it's a little bit slower, and filtering all that information is really hard. And hey, while Ciro is trying to get up, we'll load up the Lido Nation website. Just give me 1 second here. I'll hit the share button. Oh, Ciro is on board. Hang on, let me just go over to him. And hopefully this one works at this time. Yes, we have a connection.
Hi, Peter. How are you? Sorry for that. My connection lost.
Brilliant. It's working. It's working. All right. Let's get into your presentation then. I was going to go through the Lido Nation Catalyst Explorer, but I'll do that afterwards. I'll save it for after. But I was doing a little quick intro around agrotech and how interesting it is. I had no idea that it even existed until I looked into World Mobile a little bit. And World Mobile have all these IoT sensors to collect all this agrotech data from all the machinery, farming, and everything else around it. But you've got a proposal around this. Let's go through it. You got 5 minutes to go through your proposal, and we've got a little QA session afterwards. So start whenever you're ready. There's a share screen button at the bottom if you want to share your screen as well.
Okay. I think you're
good.
Watching? Yes. So hello, good morning. We are AgroTechnology Cardano, and we specialize in agricultural technology. Our proposal revolves around a token baked by cultivation hectares. The goal for these tokens is to offer an agricultural producers an alternative to high interest bank loans, allowing them to access global investment for their crops. The return of this investment for token holders will mainly come from the sales of the yields crops, thus providing sustainable financial growth. The generated profits will be then distributed among the various agricultural producers, fostering more equitable agricultural ecosystem. Essentially, the token holder purchased the token supported by the usufruct of the land. This means the generated harvest from this cultivation, specifically delimited by each hectare of the land. The liquidity generated from the token purchase and sales will be used in the whole aspects of agricultural productions, such as machinery, seeds, fertilizers, transportation and distribution, as well as agricultural insurance and others. So we are working on implementing two principal tools, primary tools for the agricultural producers. The first is the AgroChat, and the second is the IoT sensors. These tools enable us to trace the different crops and monitor the climatic conditions in real time. Our chat uses the conversational flow to track real-time information necessary for various certificates and create spreadsheets used for certificates, banking, insurance purpose, and different necessities of the producers. As a scientist team, we aim to provide specialized data analysis. And we generate real-time spreadsheets and use data analysis to create reports for the different producers. We are developing two artificial intelligence models, one for optimizing crop earnings exponentially, and other from optimizing the harvest process itself. Additional, we are developing IoT sensors. We have created an environmental variable sensor, and we are currently working on a soil sensor with 7 variables to measure. Our futures plans include an IoT water sensors to gain the whole comprehensive knowledge of the microclimate of the crops. All this data is traced in our app, offering real-time monitoring of environmental and soil variables, graphical data visualizations, connection and disconnection tracking, and maximum and minimal value views. This data is analyzed by an artificial intelligence prediction model for forecasting the temperature and humidity for the following day. This allows farmers to prepare. This allows farmers to prepare in advance for their crops conditions. After this, the crop yields harvest, we aim to a real-time NFT for token holders in order to understand the cultivation progress and their potential earnings. Subsequently, we will trace the entire transportation logistics to ensure that the final consumer receives the whole information about their product. the quality, the origin, and the certifications. Upon selling the final product, we acquire the farm income or the crop earnings, part of which will return to the token holder, and the sales profits become to the farmer and the agricultural producers. Our trajectory in visits, we are creating IoT sensors to integrate in the whole crops, and we integrate this into our applications and employ these data science to analyze real-time data. With these solutions, we are generating blockchain traceability and tokenization, aiming for long-term development and research. Lastly, our teams consist primarily of scientists and primarily physicists, with support from anthropologists, economists, and different engineers that develop the whole solutions. Thank you very much for your attention, and we are open to questions.
Brilliant. Okay. Now I just need to clarify a couple of things here and there. I'll put the links and show notes, put the links to the Catalyst proposal in the show notes for you and in the live chat. So I'll just put that in right now. So anyone that's watching live, you can get to the proposal there and find out a little bit more information. But you can stop the share screen
in our webpage, like AgroTechCardano.com.
Brilliant. I'll put that there as well. If you can just stop the share screen.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Now we've got the video back. So just to clarify a couple of things here. So first off, with the token itself, has it gone through all the legal aspects that you need to do with a token launch, and where is it all incorporated? Can the main thing is, like, can people in the US get access to this, etc.? So that's where I'm getting at.
Yes, it's a big question for us, because it's tokenizing things, physical things, is like a big complex problem, because all of these legal parameters that you need to have. Here, we are currently in Colombia, and we want to make an MVP here with producers of blueberries and mango for exporting. And for the legal parameters that we need to have, we are currently speaking with the Minister of Agriculture here in Colombia, in order to have the whole permissions to make this like an STO of the token, in order to have the whole permissions that we need to emit this type of tokens. In order to clarify, we want to back the token with the usufruct of the land, not with the land itself. The land itself is from the farmer, and the usufruct of the land is like the harvest of the crops. And this is the back of the token, and we want to make this token, this solution. It's like similar. I don't know if you hear about AgroToken, that is backed with rice and soy. We want to make a similar thing with our token, but backed not with the product itself, and we want to back with the harvest of the land, and this is our solution.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. It's essentially creating a real world asset of the harvest. And,
the harvest.
Yep. Tokenizing that. Okay, very, very cool. Now with the proposal, this is a question from the live stream as well. So this is from Yoursoft. Thank you so much for being there on the live stream. Now, is this solution proposal aiming just at one farm at the moment? You mentioned blueberries and mangoes, but is this like an MVP for one farm?
No, we are currently working with 30 farmers here
Oh, wow. Okay.
in the Colombia region, and
Yep.
we with the MVP we want to make different corrections. The feedback that we will receive is very important to make the whole process very solid. And then we want to expand to the different types of crops here in Colombia, because we are like a potential exporting for agriculture here in Colombia, and we want to boost that capacity of our land.
Very cool. That is very good to hear. Thank you so much for that. And now with all these IoT sensors, you guys developed a bunch yourself.
Yeah,
That's
we
very cool.
are scientists, principal. We are physicists, and also we have experience in IoT development. In my case, I am the person who make the design and the different tools of the electronics. And my partner Juan, it's the person that develops all the code to connect the different sensors, and also connect with the app that we have. For this proposal, we want to connect these different measures and data with the Cardano blockchain in order to trace all the whole conditions of the crops, and also in order to make the safety investment for the token holders.
That's very cool. What's the unit cost of one of the IoT devices? Like, how cheap can you get them?
We are currently working with the 30 producers. In this moment, we didn't sell the product. We sell the service of monitoring the whole variables, and we have different monthly and yearly plans to the producers, and this
Yeah.
is how it works.
Gotcha. Smart, because you need to maintain those devices as well. And I think if anything,
Yeah.
the data that you guys collect, that's the important bit. That's what the farmers want.
Yes.
But you give them an IoT device. I was like, I don't know what to do with this. it's everything else around it.
Yes,
And,
the main is like improve the whole conditions of the farmers,
Yeah.
but they can't use these things because they didn't have like this type of knowledge of using IoT sensors, applications, and different technology, and we want to make they use easier these solutions in order to improve their crops, in order to have the whole conditions that they have, and understand what to do, and back their decisions with the data and
yeah.
the intelligence, artificial intelligence predictions.
That it totally makes sense. I absolutely love this project to optimize the harvest of the farmers. Like, if you don't know if it's going to rain, you don't know long-term patterns, whatever,
Yeah.
but having all this data for them, and then using the AI models to predict you need to harvest now, or else you're going to potentially lose 90% of your crops due to climate factors or whatever it is that's appearing. So it's absolutely brilliant. I love it. Now, I just need to clarify, where does the blockchain aspects tie into the project? So you mentioned it a little bit briefly there, the data from the IoT sensors being logged on chain. Can you talk through just quickly what aspects of blockchain are you tapping into to store data?
Yeah, we are currently we want we want to make the whole trace solution, the whole
Yep.
traceability solution with the whole data we are monitoring. Like it's like two different worlds. One of them is the environmental and climate variables that we are writing in the blockchain, in the Cardano blockchain in real time. And in the other hand is the or the all the labors that they need to trace for the different certificates of quality, and they need to trace like the irrigations, fertilizations, harvest, machinery labors, and this whole information provide us the data to analyze and write it in the Cardano blockchain. With this, we will emit different certificates to certificate the different products in order to export it, and also the final consumer can see, can read the whole data of the product that they are consuming, like the origin of the product, the quality, the transportations data, and this is all through the Cardano blockchain system. Also, we have 5 designs of smart contracts to automatize the whole emission of the certificates, and also the emission of the tokens.
Brilliant. Okay. I think this is an absolutely fantastic application of blockchain, the whole supply chain traceability, supply side of things all being tracked. So it's a trustless kind of solution. It's all there. It's all verified all along the way. And then all the IoT data, AI, and optimizing of the harvest and yields for all of the farmers out there. It's just absolutely brilliant. So I really hope people support this one as well. I think it's a brilliant proposal.
Thank you very much, Peter. It's a pleasure for us to be in here exposing our project because we want to make this bigger and bigger. We have different ideas for the future, like not only paying the investors with money, with ADA or DJET or different type of money in the blockchain, but also we want to pay the investors or token holders with agricultural products. Like if you are a restaurant in different places around the world, you can invest in our own crop, and you will receive your own agricultural products with these whole certifications, high quality and traceability, and this is our long-term ideas. Also, we want to in future may make educational platform because we have a lot of data. We are traceability tracing a lot of data, and it's like an input for different research and development to the I don't remember farmers engineering, agricultural engineering, to make different research with different type of crops, and this is our like future idea that we can develop with this solution.
Brilliant long-term vision. Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I'll put all the links and references, like I said, in the show notes. It should be all there already for everyone. But again, thank you so much for joining me on the episode, and we'll talk again real soon.
Okay. Thank you very much, Peter. Keep you in touch.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. See you.
Bye. And that brings us to the end of another Catalyst Sprint 10. Thank you, everyone that joined on the live stream there. Again, I will remind you, if you enjoyed this series, please hit that like button. That give us that thumbs up. It helps for the visibility for all of these live streams, and it will give all these projects a little bit more exposure as well. So really, really encourage you guys to do that if you liked any of these projects. Now, just check the live stream messages here, and thank you everyone that jumped in and asked questions as well. It's always really good to get the support and interaction with the live audience. Now, we had one question here from Sir Peaches about World Mobile. I think World Mobile is a fantastic project. They started with that whole African mission and went down that path alongside Cardano and IOG to have that push there in Africa. But they did their test bed there, and now they've just launched in the States. They've got their eSIM license and are starting to launch there. And I think they're going to take the market by storm. Having that incentivized environment where the owners can, anyone can participate and own part of the network and provide the service itself, reduces the costs of the mobile carrier, which is always quite high, but then also incentivizes and gives ownership to the network itself. I think it's an absolutely brilliant idea. Decentralizes the ownership and maintenance, essentially, of the network, the operator, and it gives it to the community there. So I think it's an absolutely brilliant project. I do have this lengthy interview I did with the team at World Mobile, and I've been working through this video back and forth for so long now. I've re-recorded parts of it so many times. So it's the content's getting out of date, and I really have to push to get this one complete and all fully edited. Otherwise, the content will go a little bit stale because it's so time sensitive. And the World Mobile team have been like doing a release after release every single day. There's big news announcement, apps being launched, buyback programs, new connections with different parts of the world. It's it's incredible the amount of progress and development they're doing. So hats off to World Mobile. Once again, guys, thank you so much for joining on the live stream. Thank you for all of our presentations as well. Thank you for joining in on time. A lot of these live streams, I guess, join a little bit late or don't make it in time. But thank you everyone that's joined, and we'll catch you all in the next live stream. See ya.